spectroscopy, for those of you who aren't science geeks, I'm enough of one to know essentially that's talking about the color of light and using, you would shine some kind of light onto the fruit or through the fruit and thereby be able to assess its maturity and its sugar content without actually taking a sample. That's the non-destructive. So you were using light to be able to measure the sweetness and maturity of the fruit. Is that correct?
Exactly. Of course, it is a photon or the laser light, which is sent at a particular wavelength. Say,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, if we want to assess the maturity of the fruit, so we assume that the fruit will be green in color, particularly for the fruits which are having a red blush on their skin, like
Mm-hmm.
peaches, apples. So at the very young stage, the red blush, appears on the fruit skin surface. So a laser light or a pulse is injected non-destructively, and the photons from another side is captured back to see how much it is absorbed. So if there
Right.
is more of chlorophyll inside the fruit, obviously at that particular wavelength, there is more absorption, which indicates that the fruit is still immature or yet to be mature.
Right. So
So
you're
based on that,
shining
yeah.
mhm. So you're shining a red spectrum laser through the fruit, and because chlorophyll is green, it absorbs more of the light that's transmitted through the fruit, and therefore it indicates a lack of maturity, a lack of sweetness compared to one that actually allows transmission of more red light.
Exactly. I mean, I won't say it is red. I don't know the color. I don't remember how the color was,
Mm-hmm.
the laser light color, but I do remember it was at 670 nanometer, which was the
Okay.
chlorophyll absorption spectrum where the
Yeah.
absorption happens. So at that
Right.
wavelength, the light was passed down to the fruit, and it can go to a depth of 2 centimeters inside the fruit before it gets scattered or absorbed and reflected back and taken by the detector.
Right. So just as I suspected, because I used to play with electronics and that 670 is at least in the red range. I just
Yes.
double checked to make sure I wasn't imagining things. Okay, and what was the final one? So you did the leaf drop, or sorry, the needle drop. So preservation of food and plants post harvest. Assessing it with spectroscopy, and what was the other one? There was three.
There was a document preparation on the mango post-harvest storage
Oh, okay, and that was the storage, so that relates
on the
back to
storage
the
as
shelf life.
exactly
Okay,
shelf
so
life.
let's move on to the questions, and what I'd like to do is try to keep these relatively tight. You can detail your answers as far as possible. I'm going to strive to speak or comment less for the most part because that's my greatest challenge to make these interviews more efficient. So